Howdy, my name is Kevin, and let me quickly run through how I created components to be dev-ready and responsive. So here is an example of one of the components I created. This is a link component, allowing creators to link out any link they would like within their link in bio. So all of my components were comprised of auto layout structure. So these are just they're just inlaid boxes, and it follows the box model within web development, where everything is just a series of boxes within boxes with their own layout structure that defines the relationship of elements within that specific container. So in this case, we have these items here that are all within these boxes, and this is especially relevant as all of my components and all of the variants follow this similar structure, utilizing auto layout in order to enable dynamic content. So let's take this, for example. Let's bring this out. And as you can see, you have a variety of component properties. These component properties allow us to bind the data directly onto this and exposes it for the developers to edit. So for example, these are the same levers that a creator would have access to. So they don't need to show a subtitle. They can just have a title. They can pin it or unpin it. They can lock it in order to enable lead generation on that specific link. And they can have an image or they cannot have an image. The real power here is that I created these elements to be responsive to different amount of text and also to varying different components. So in this case, if I change the title, everything will flow within that space. Same thing applies with the subtitle. So if I re-enable the subtitle and I add it, it'll automatically respond to that text and flow the text appropriately as it's wrapped within this box that has its fill properties that enables it to flow down appropriately. This also applies for all the images, which are also responsive. So I can set that image to that, and it will fill this container. This is important as it allows the designs to be responsive not only within that specific container, but within other containers as well. So if I drag this into this design, see how it automatically pushes everything down. All aspects of the design that I created follow these conventions, and this is all done using auto layout in order to enable responsiveness. The magic truly happens when you translate this into code. So taking that same element, I can translate that into its code components. So see how you have the style here? We can go a step further by utilizing plugins such as Builder.io, which is a platform that TextMe Bio uses, or AutoHTML, which enables us to directly port over the design into code, as you can see here. And by doing so, it becomes responsive. We can take that a step further, and instead of HTML code, which is generally static, we can use it to create a React code. This allows us to create drag and drop code elements that leverages the drag and drop capabilities of Builder.io in order to drag and drop the design into um, the screens using all of these auto layout properties. So for example, when a developer comes, they can change this and change the title to whatever they'd like, but the most important thing is that they can bind this to the backend, and all of the responsiveness is already built in, which saves them development time. They can also set the component properties, so for example, this as false, and as a result, the design responds dynamically. The main benefit here is that there's less ambiguity. So if I go back to the link component that I designed, all of the layer structure is properly named, and we came up with a convention that square brackets denote dynamic content, such as text, and anything that would populate with other components are denoted using the square brackets. This enabled developers to focus on the features rather than porting over my designs into code. They could focus on building it and getting it out quicker. But as a result, this forced me to think like a developer, to think like a web developer, in order to enable these designs to seamlessly transition from Figma into Builder.io. As a result, it sped up our development time and reduced the friction between me and the developers such that they could focus on what truly matters, and that is pushing features forward and building a platform where creators can enjoy. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy it.